The World Festival of Youth and Students held its annual event in Sochi this year to promote global solidarity for democracy and against war and imperialism. But instead of coming together in the event held by the UN-affiliated NGO, anti-Israel protesters and even other delegations made sure Israel couldn't participate, burning flags and chanting death to the Jews. Well, joining me in the studio now to tell us more about the event is David Shayan, a political activist and the chairman of the Young Likud. Thank you so much for coming in. So what happened and how did it happen? Tell us this story.
Well, it starts a few weeks ago when Young Likud, we had some friends wanted to participate in the conference in Sochi, and then we didn't hear nothing from the embassy, the Russian embassy here in Israel for weeks. And when we wanted to understand what is going on and why we don't get the approved to participate, we got very confused answers, and in the end, they only approved one representative to participate there.
And were you able to figure out why? Did they tell you why that was the case?
We understood that there is a lot of pressure on the Russians not to let the Israeli delegation to participate in.
And why was that?
Because there were a few Arab countries that tried to block and to interrupt the Israelis to participate in the conference. They didn't want us there. In the end, the Israeli delegation participated there, but we have only one representative of the Likud. They give us the answer that there's only one for each organization, but in the end we heard that there are organizations from Israel and from other countries that have more than one representative.
So it had to do specifically with the Likud group. That was the issue here.
That's the impression that we got, but in the end we didn't say a lot. But when we saw the pictures coming from Sochi, the demonstrations and the rumors of violent events there, then we decided that we won't be quiet, and we will say what we have to say to the embassy here in Russia, and we sent a letter to the embassy and to the Prime Minister saying that we won't keep it quiet when political activities from Arab nations and countries coming and trying to hurt the Israelis. We won't be quiet when they try to
keep you out, essentially. So here's my question for you. Were there any other Israeli groups at the event?
There is an Israeli group in the event. There are about 50 people there coming from Israel. They have a lot of difficulties there, but at the same time, they're doing their work. And from the things we're hearing, they representing Israel in a very good
shape. So what was the response of the Russian government to this? I mean, we just had the defense minister here not long ago, and there seemed to be kind of positive moves towards collaborating when it comes to security measures. But in this case, did the Russian government have a response?
I must say that the friends from the embassy here in Israel, they try to help us. But in the end, if you see the result, as I said, the events there are not so positive. And till now, we sent the letter, and till now we didn't get an answer from the Russians. But I hope they will learn from the mistakes that have been made there, and will fix it to the next time.
I guess that's what we can only hope. Thank you so much for joining us and telling us this story.